Oh man. What's up, Suspicious Revenue? Just getting things set up. Playing early levels of Doom with upgraded weapons. It's a good time. I was doing that to try to get all the achievements. It does make it easier, especially if you have certain runes unlocked, like the one that gives you infinite ammo if you have above a certain amount of armor. That one's been a big help for me. Fragile body doesn't like the air that you're falling through. Boop. Get started here in just a moment. If you have a moving field drone that you already got, it looks to... Oh, yeah. Like you've snatched away their purpose in life. I feel that on a deep level. Me too, little drone. Me too. Pause that. Okay. I guess we want the quick save. There we go. I was clicking in the wrong spot. You're a drunk moron? Hey, me too, man.
Just wait here. Ta-ta.
What are you eating? Cheetos? Looks like Cheetos. Oh, shit. I think that was the grenade button.
Just wait here.
I was trying to figure out the flashlight button. Oh, pause. Oh, because I opened up dialogue.
Ta-ta.
There we go. Cheesy poofs.
Run along.
Shut up. Didn't he just say wait here? Wait here. What do we got here? Oh, you were trying to say you're a drunk Korok?
Bye now.
Bye now.
You just gonna stand here all day?
Cheesy poofs. I didn't watch all that much South Park, but I do remember the cheesy poofs. I thought I was past this part. Oh, this gate's secure. Bitch. What do we got here? They found the Event Horizon. Good for them. Longshoreman Digest. And Folks Magazine. Do I sit there all day eating cheesy poofs? Well, this person does. Absolutely. Hey, look.
You have one new message. First message from
Ian Hives. Norton, it's Ian Hives. Look, Alice Wade stopped by my office this morning, and I feel a little awkward saying this, but, well, I really need you to tone down the innuendo around her. It's not that I personally give a rat's ass, but the last thing we need right now is sexual harassment case. Drawing unwanted attention to this task force. It's supposed to be a secret after all.
You're good with guns ahead. Alright.
end of messages.
Okay, yeah, these will do.
This is Bravo 12, my position. Copy, Bravo 12. Check in at 10
Over where? Ooh, dark hallway. I would like to take the tour. There's no chainsaw in Fear. At least not this Fear. And at least not yet. Maybe there will be in the future, but I doubt it. Fear is supposed to be a horror game, not a kill all the horrors game. Which is why they named it Fear, I think. They want you to be scared. Except I'm not doing a great job of that right now. No, I want that gun. I don't want that pistol. The medkit. Normally I would go for pistol, but I feel like I like these guns a little bit better in this game.
That should do it. Mr. Mapes, do you copy? Mr. Mapes! Where is that idiot? Okay, we'll just have to do this the hard way. Okay, find that server and reboot it.
Looks like I have to kill him. I probably won't end up killing him. I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid enough for this shit. When did I fill up on medkits? I used like 3 of them during that last fight. Rip and tear. Kill them all. Kill, kill, kill. It's like the opening to Bill Nye the Science Guy, except much more violent. Kill Nye the Science Guy, the murder guy. I can spike people to walls, though. So that's something. Monolith Productions. Is that where I am right now?
We're on the roof, heading inside.
Copy. Proceed to rendezvous.
Kill Nye the Slaughter Guy. Kill, 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 kill. It's like, what if Bill Nye operated a battle royale like TV show? Welcome to the Slaughter Dome with Kill Nye the Slaughter Guy. Kill, 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 kill. Aha! My days playing, not Call of Duty, what is the other one? Counter-Strike. Have paid off. With the crouch jumps. What's that? Andrew Griffin from Executive Business. They use some real harsh shadows in this game. Oh. Probably supposed to use this.
Okay, it's showing that the network has been rebooted. Good job. It'll take a minute for the system to come back online.
Excuse you. You're way too generic to be that cool. So just take it down a notch, okay? Huh. Would I get fat all of a sudden? Excuse me. Whatever. I need to hit the gym after this.
That Mapes guy was right about security being on a separate network. I can monitor the camera feed, but I don't have any...
Who what? I wasn't getting the ups I needed to get over that window. The damn cheesy poos. Should have let the kitty have more of the cheesy poofs. Ah, poofs, kitty! Hang on, I gotta have more of my coffee, so it's not so late when I'm coming down off the caffeine. Potential. Oh, I missed it. That's always kind of a problem with horror video games. If they're trying to do a jump scare on you, if you're not looking in the right direction, you're gonna completely miss the entire effect. Might have been up there. But who the hell knows?
You're heading toward the last known location of that Delta team. Secure the site and wait for Jen.
Secure the site. Secure the site up there, fella.
You've seen her, haven't you? She is the original.
I just picked up Fennel's transmitter somewhere ahead of you. Be careful.
I was made from her, and I was born from her. We are separate, but we are one.
To be a creep. Really relying on those harsh shadows. You killed the cyber demon with the pistol only? Good job. I don't think I have the patience for something like that. Excuse me. Maybe I don't have the skill either. fireworks.
She is a prisoner, floating in darkness, like the unborn in the womb. Soon I will find her, and I will set her free.
Shit, I lost him again. Fuck!
You watch your language, buddy. Hey, health increase. Mom always said not to play with fire. She makes a good point. Oh, there's a damn tree blocking my view. Hey, June! What's up, my man? Yeah. That's how I'm gonna start my mixtape when I make one. You just woke up and you saw the notification. And you showed up so quick. What do you want to be when you grow up? The Dune Slayer. I think the Dune Slayer was created, not born. I see you found my commands. There's a lot of blood here.
God.
What do you think, Jen?
There was a lot of anger in this room.
That's great. Got anything useful to add?
I don't see any bullet holes. There's no brass lying around either. These guys didn't fire a shot.
Then what killed them?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. All right, buddy, get moving. Battle's got us close.
I'm not even sure where to start. Almost complete liquefaction.
Someone broke his bones, too.
This is going to take some time.
He was born, but he was given better speed and strength. I thought he was like a cosmic force.
Watch your back.
I could absolutely be wrong. I don't know that much about the lore of the game. Oh man, his legs were broken too, and his face. Anyway. Oh, that blood got far. Wow. Is that supposed to be a reflection? It's a reflection. Not a particularly good one, but it is one all the same. Better than I can do right now. He's psychic. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Fiddle. Oh, cutscene. There may be more than one way to tackle an obstacle. Use your shoulder. It's stronger. What's holding his bones together with no muscles? Cartilage? Also, that's a different kind of muscle. Remains of the missing SFOD team have been found. FEAR technical officer is on the scene conducting forensic analysis. FEAR mission coordinator has detected Paxton Fatel's transmitter signal in the area. Aramcham personnel are presently unaccounted for. Mission: FEAR combat operative will attempt to intercept Fatel. Together with thoughts and prayers. Alright, coffee done. Am I watching a THX movie? What's this? What's this? Oh man, this looks like a great place to put, like, a health upgrade. Because I almost stumbled on that by accident. Such a dark corner. Jin had to get his gun later in life.
Hostage is secure. They're questioning him now. Roger. Keep him alive until the...
The whole squad? Coffee's done, now it's time for the whiskey. You're only married once? I didn't know you were married. Yeah, I gotta find the collectibles. You don't understand.
New message. First message from
Harlan Wade. Mike, it's Harlan Wade. Chuck Abiger seems to think that people are blowing smoke up his ass on this Perseus situation. Now, I don't know which one of you shitheels over there is calling the shots, but you better stop digging around fast, because the readings are getting worse by the minute. It's really a simple choice. You can either listen to the expert advice you need, or brace yourselves for the ass fuck of the century, because it's coming. You mark my words on that.
I guess I don't really need to worry about collectibles in this game because there's no achievement for it, and I don't imagine I'm gonna play this game more than once.
Contact!
So if there's like any unlockables, the ammo, yeah. Mostly what I've been looking for has just been like health pickups and ammo. Although I do compulsively look for collectibles. Like, the level is there to be explored, right? That ass must taste good with that smoky
You
flavor.
have one new message.
She's a bitch.
Message from
And laughed.
Marshall Dissler. Hi, it's Marshall Dissler.
Hi, it's Marshall Dishler.
The original. Still trying to explode.
You were right about the energy signals.
Confirmation. I'll be in touch when I know more.
end of messages.
this guy got blasted over the desk, and his arm is still stuck up in a weird position. What's wrong with your arm, mate? Hey. And somebody swiveled his chair afterwards. That's it, now we're doing CSI in FEAR. Oh shit. I thought I had a grenade. Turns out I don't. Oh, they talk to each other. Nice grenade, idiot. Do headshots count for anything? There we go. Yeah, Marshall doesn't know how to keep his damn mouth shut. No. Go away.
Can anybody hear me?
Stand back.
I'm in the supply closet.
It's a strong supply closet door. Oh, was there another way around? Or is this just farther in the level? I think I'm skipping.
Finally! Can you do something about these bombs?
Alright, another civilian.
Well, they're bulletproof,
Mother relocated
so
a hostage. Sounds
we've
like
ruled
he
that
fired
out.
with explosives. Roger, I'll send somebody to help out. Give him a comm link.
You want me to give this guy a comm link?
Hello? You guys special forces or something?
That's right. Just sit tight, Mr.
Bishop. Aldous Bishop.
Bishop.
He's on his way. Okay, buddy. There's some elevators near your position.
How do I
Secure the area and escort the team back to Bishop.
That didn't work. Guy's got slick back hair and he's all greasy. Sort of makes me feel like he'd be a good mascot for sellouts. A
Security system. They may be trying to box you in.
A sprint function would be really nice. Somebody's trying to box me in. I wonder who it could be. Who can it be now? really like space here. Space and aeroplanes. Idiot. Kick him! Kick him! Kick him! That wasn't a kick.
Looks like your cart is empty. To add items.
Shut up, Echo.
Add batteries to my cart. Or
Echo.
add dog food.
Shut up. Idiot. I don't know why, I wasn't really prepared for two guys to come out of the elevator, but now I know.
Someone's messing with
Alright,
the
man.
security system. Maybe try to
We'll be
lock
here.
you in.
I kicked up a notch. Oh shit. The hell is that noise? If you're gonna make a...
Hey, good to see you again.
I almost grenaded those guys.
Any way to get these gates open? Unfortunately, no.
If they make Doom 2016 for the Nintendo via Plasma gun, what do you mean?
Stand back. Here goes.
We're through.
You gonna show us where that hostage is at?
I was thinking about it.
Man, I should have called in sick today.
Yeah, probably.
You the bomb expert?
That's right. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
I like
Just
that they
get this
animated
shit
him
off me.
scooting out.
Please.
Whoever wrecked this is definitely a pro.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
He may be a pro, but I'm a master. A fire alarm.
I'm a master.
Triggered at a security office on that floor. You'll need to shut it off to get the elevators back online.
Oh, I see. You're saying the
Better go
Nintendo...
check it out.
The Nintendo can't handle Doom.
Get the elevators back online, man.
I think if they down-res the textures, it probably wouldn't be an issue.
Hurry up so we can get the hell out of here.
Cool plane. Set up another save real quick.
Mr. Bishop, do you have
Is there
any
a
idea why
quick
you were
load?
taken hostage?
They were asking about Harlan Wade. Me and his daughter Alice are on the same task force.
What kind of task force?
We're working on a study on the Auburn district over the past 25 years. Nobody told us what it's for.
Where's his daughter now?
Her office is in the executive building, on the 6th floor.
6th floor? That's a lot of stairs. Can we take the elevator? Shit Doom. Shit Doom 2016. I mean, that's the price you pay for making a portable system with a objectively worse graphics card. I mean, it does what it needs to.
You have one new message.
If it had a much better video card, the battery would be terrible, and it would have a heating issue. But if you want to be able to play Doom on the go without a laptop, then it would be serviceable. Besides, if you've ever played the original Doom,
You have one new message. First message from
the original Doom looks like ass by comparison. What's up, little girl?
The elevators are working again, but now the security gates are all shut.
She spooked me a little bit.
Find another way to the roof. Holiday, can you guys escort Mr. Bishop? We'll take good care.
Rejoin Holiday and Bishop on the roof. Going up. I thought we were just talking about the 6th floor. This isn't the roof.
Betters, I'm pretty much done here.
Any theories?
I'm gonna need to do some lab
Betters.
work.
Alright, head back to the room and sit tight. It'll be a while before we can get a ride out of there for you.
Understood.
This is some next level strats. Oh no, it only goes a couple of feet. Lane, can I go through here? Yeah. Can I go up there? No, I can't. Ew.
The data's uploading. Well, this confirms the point of Perseus was to train telepathic commanders to work with clone soldiers, although it looks like Paxton Fennel was the only commander of the program.
I probably should have quick saved. Whoopsie daisy. Wagwan.
Mr. Bishop, do you have any idea why you were taken hostage?
Mr. Bishop.
Me and his daughter Alice are on the same task force. What kind of task force? We're working on a study on the Auburn district over the past 25 years.
Some armor, some
Nobody
help.
told us what it's for. Where's his daughter now? Her office is in the executive building, on the 6th floor.
Yeah, join the body pit. Blood for the blood god. Bones for the bone god. Ah, cool. They implemented chandelier physics. I didn't expect that to happen. Guns for the gun god. Ah.
You have one new message. First message from
Right. The elevators are working again, but now the security gates are all
Man,
shut.
I would have shot her
We're gonna
right in
have
the
to find
face.
another way to the roof. Holiday, can you guys escort Mr. Bishop? We'll take good care.
Alright. See, that makes me... I feel a little disappointed because now I kind of get the impression that I was supposed to climb up through that vent. Uh-oh. And it made me feel clever
Any theories?
for having done it.
Lab work.
Alright, head back to the room and
But
sit
now that I
tight.
realized that that was the way I was supposed to
We'll get a ride out of
go.
there for you.
Understood.
Yeah, that would be pretty tragic. You're not wrong about that. Like this seems like it would have been a really good spot for like a secret. But you're definitely just supposed to find it.
The data's
which cool, but also
Well,
lame.
this confirms the point of Perseus was to train telepathic commanders to work with clone soldiers, although it looks like Paxton Fettel was the only commander of the program. The weird thing is, they refer to him as the second prototype.
Kinda looks pre-rendered. In we go. Oh, there was another. There's an already open window. I'm gonna cost this company a lot of money. Where the hell did my mind go? Did it just fall into this pit? Wow, what a throw. Oh man. So I'm gonna be honest, I like the idea of the remote explosive, but I also kind of feel like I'm never gonna be in a good position to really use it. I think the biggest downfall of the remote bomb is that it's a different control scheme than your other weapons. So like to set it off, it's just a left click. But in order to use it, you have to equip it and then press the grenade throw button to throw it. So it's like, it's really inconvenient to use, especially in a game where you're like, you gotta be frantic like all the time. Flashlight. That time it looked like a headshot did something. Ow.
What's your status?
Dead. You and your friends are dead. Don't you know who you're stealing from? they're stealing from. You're getting heated for getting heated core for plasma gun. That's the one where you can blow out a heat wave, right? That's the one I went for, and it does end up being really useful. Because the wave itself is actually really powerful. It'll kill a lot of enemies one hit.
Yes, sir.
You didn't sight me. You saw my flashlight. You dingus.
Squad, check in. Hold your position. Roger that.
I wish more games had silenced weapons as an option. I think they're all dead. I do love ragdoll physics. Excuse you. Rude. Alright. You're running around, shooting the ground, and using the wave to get the final upgrade. Yeah, I'll be honest. If they weren't demons, I might actually have some sympathy for them. But they are demons, so no sympathy for the devil. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
Good. How you holding up this
Oh, I'm not going up there yet.
Looking forward to getting the hell out of here. Bet you are.
Looking forward to it, sir. When the bad guys in fear get killed, their bones dissolve. Uh-oh. I need to find a power cable for my laptop. My laptop's about to die. So one moment, please. You know what? If you go to hell when you die, send for a nasty surprise. There you go. I'm gonna run a quick ad break. I'm gonna get a drink. And then I'll be back. Be right back. June and Burger, they're my boys. I think I left my laptop charger elsewhere, so I'm just gonna have to go with that, I guess. I'm back, bitches! Guess who's back, back again. Sin Man's back. Tell a friend. There we go. My control inputs were lagging a little bit. The hell is that? Is that a... Is that... Oh, that's this gun. Okay. It looks very strange from the from this angle. Sin boy, that's me. I'm the one that sins. Hey, reflexes permanently increased. Ow. Permanently increase your reflexes, immediately jump to your death. See, now they're just expecting you to do the jumping puzzles. Drugs help. I don't do drugs. Most I've ever done is marijuana. And is I. Oh, sweet. One of my partners... Oh shit, that was the thing I should have read. One of my partner's friends, maybe his sister, I think? I'm not entirely sure. Donated her copy of Sellouts to a local board game bar.
Squad regroup. Copy.
Where the hell did it go? We like to see Sellout's representation. Stop right there, criminal scum. You violated the law. All your stolen goods are forfeit. What's your status? Kinda can't believe that worked. Cool jump, man. You didn't take 80 frames to do that at all. Sorry, give me 1 second. I gotta respond to that. They need to give guns more rhythmic firing sounds. Because that almost had a really good beat when I was firing in the slow-mo, because it was like... It sounded real good. I know he was gonna say contact, but it kind of sounded like he said gun. Like he was just real mad that I got behind him there. Which I can't say as I blame him, because if I was holding a really good
We have an update on the situation at Armacam headquarters. A company
position.
spokesperson has confirmed that many employees were still at work when the situation first erupted. No word yet on the welfare of those inside.
What?
Since it was founded in 1964.
Let's not glorify corporations, please. Asp rifle. Oh, it's got a scope.
What's happening? Bishop's down. Repeat, Bishop's down. That was ATC security. Are you sure?
Have Pinky's trophy. There you go.
Fire? They didn't feel very friendly to me. I think that they were deliberately targeting Bishop. What the fuck is ATC doing? Guess they didn't trust him to keep his mouth shut about something. God, I hope you're wrong. I'll look into it.
Are these guys the cops? Oh, ATC. Who are the ATC? Who the fuck? Okay. I don't know why, I kind of thought the elevator could be interacted with here. Made sense to me at the time.
He's over here!
You didn't know where I was.
Watch out! Grenade! Take cover!
But he didn't watch out.
Bishop!
Ow!
Stand down! Got it. You all right? Get some backup over here!
Get some backup over here. Hey, I'm getting back up here. I don't think the ATC is supposed to be here. Isn't ATC alcohol, tobacco, and oh, I guess that's ATF, never mind. There's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Which is definitely not the people that are here right now. Alcohol, tobacco, and coke. There you go. I'm sure those three things are enjoyed, or at least consumed together. It still seems like an oddly targeted campaign. I almost fell to my death. Yes, sirree. It's time for a jumping puzzle. Oh. Hi.
Which way? Cover me. Help me.
Don't be a hero. You're 2 days away from retirement. You're too old for this shit. Am I supposed to jump down there?
You still there?
Yeah. You?
Get us some backup.
You still there? He probably wasn't talking to me, but what if he was?
Your signal's breaking up.
Man, those swimming physics. You ever try swimming and then you just sort of flop about in the water like that? Is the game volume good? Looks like it's spiking. What the hell is that? I shot at it like 15 times, nothing happened. I went up and hit the thing. Spooky. Alright, which way is the correct way to go? Because I went up here, and I smacked this thing, and then there was a fireball. I guess I can't go this way. See, here again, I thought this was a clever place to put like a secret in the game, and it turns out it's the exact correct way to go. To continue the storyline. Thought I was gonna get like a health pack or something. Damn it, video games. Make it rewarding for exploration. I realize this is an older game. Oh, this is even a dead end. Come on. The obvious paths are the dead ends, of course. What the fuck was that? As lame as shit. I don't know where I am. Okay, I came out of there. Why last time did the game let me get so far before the thing triggered? This game is just confusing to me now. Oh. Guess I have to turn the gas off? Doesn't look like there's anything down there. Alright. So... do I have to jump down here? Yep. Okay. A skeleton! Whoa! Did you guys believe that I was scared? I have an acting audition in a couple days. I don't. That was a lie. I lied to you. How do I get up there? There's a health thing up there. Hello?
They left her in darkness. They left her to die.
Oh, this looks like a service elevator. Probably don't want to stand there. Can I shoot through the fence? There's probably a lock right there. I thought it could like drift across there. What is it called? Surfing. Call it surfing when you go across platforms like that. You kind of glide across the surface of it. I'm just gonna start zooming through. No more looking for secrets, because the game keeps throwing secrets in my direction, but it's always a freaking What did I just turn on? Can I turn it back off? They put a locked gate there. And they just put a bunch of shit in the way, so even if you unlock it, you can't use that gate. That's cool, video game. That's cool. It's cool, bud. Alright, time to surf my way to victory. It seemed like it was going to work for the briefest of moments. What happened? I turned on the generator. And I'm surfing. I would like to point out I just had 69 health. Nice. Also, I can't open this. Oh, the game, I don't remember. That was like 30 seconds ago. You expect me to remember what happened 30 seconds ago? Oh yeah, no, it was about that gate, actually. The increasingly intense music makes me think that there's, still enemies about. Now get 420. I'm working up to it. Yeah, no, the thing... They gave me a locked gate that had a lock on it that the game already established. If I broke the lock, I could use that gate going forward. But both sides of the gate were blocked, so even though I was able to break the lock on the gate, I couldn't use the gate. Which, whatever, but... yeah. Situation. Fear combat operative has resurfaced after being temporarily out of contact. Fear coordinator is tracking Paxton Fattel on the far side of the research area. Mission. Fear operative will traverse research area to intercept Fattel. On it.
Son of a bitch, I thought we lost you. While you were out of contact, I got a read on Fennel's transmitter. He's all the way on the other side of the research area from you. You're gonna have to hustle to intercept.
Why you Fattel and me? Got him.
Lost sight of Norton Reeves in this area. He can't get forward with the elevators locked down. Understood. Command multiple line and unarmed. Contact!
Ow. I thought there was a guy over there. What the hell? Bitch. Counter-Strike. I used to love surfing maps. I don't go in for competitive games. So when I found surfing maps on Counter-Strike, I got real into that for a while.
I've been trying to get through to Genevieve Aristide. She's the president of Armageddon. I was able to confirm that she wasn't around when the Federals managed the compound, but I can't seem to track her down. Maybe she doesn't want to be found.
Maybe she doesn't want to be found. Shoplifter's camera. Don't shoplift, kids. But if you do, do so from big box stores, not from local owned businesses. But also don't do that. I'm not telling you to shoplift. Don't do that. But if you do, but don't.
Hello? Who's there? Oh, it's you.
Cheesy poos. What's cheesy poos?
No thanks to you guys.
What are you doing here?
The elevators are offline, and those soldiers are everywhere. You've got to find the security office and override the lockdown.
You gonna stay put this time?
On my honor.
Guaranteed he doesn't. This guy, the inclusion of... Oh, motherfucker. I'm stuck on the cheesy poos. Or I was. Okay. Guys like this, read the fucking manual. I like that belt buckle, though. He makes me think of when I played... What was that game called? Zombie game, Dead Island. Where you'd have the weird characters. They weren't that weird in Dead Island, actually. But you would have the weird characters that were like always trying to backstab you for their own personal gain. Did that happen a lot in Dead Island? I don't know. It's the thing that came to mind, though. Maybe I'm completely off base there. Uh-oh. My headset is dying. Will it reach? That is the question. Oh, good, it's on the right side. I got this headset a little while ago, and it's not the best headset. The audio is not the greatest, but it's wireless, and that's all I really wanted from it. Okay. Get out of there. Who the hell is eating this guy? What is up there? There's no monsters like that in this game. This is Psychic Dude, a little girl, and an army of mentally brainwashed clones. Like, that's the story. Why is there a guy getting eaten in a vent? Well, balls. I tried to be brave. I guess I did it wrong. Oh wait, there we go. Got a little reckless there, but that's okay. It all worked out for me in the end. It doesn't even matter. Man, when I found that song, I listened to that song a lot. Because in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard, got so far. Hey, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be dead already? Here's the exit, but it's... What? It's blocked! Oh boy, it's blocked! Bitch. Multi-rocket launcher. Yeah, let's take the assault rifle, the FAMAS with a scope, and a rocket launcher. Is everybody getting that? Rocket launcher. This video game about fighting a ghost man.
This way.
Like, what is this, Resident Evil right now? I bet they give you the rocket launcher just to take up space in your gun inventory, since you can only carry 2. Because they expect half of their players to just use it all up immediately, and the other half of their players to never use it because they're always saving it for something better. Why are you dying? Plugged in. Why are you not? Why are you not charging? Are you using a battery faster than your... Getting it? Ow. Hello? Salut. You guys remember the Numa Numa guy? Man, that was like the first big meme of the internet.
You have
Come on, give me the message.
first message from Genevieve Aristide. John, it's Genevieve. It seems the Senator's plan failed. His special forces
I don't like that pronunciation. I'd prefer Fattel. Maybe it's just me. Fattel sounds like a better name, and it sounds less like fennel. Reflex booster. Hell yeah, brother. Ooh yeah. Let's boost our reflexes. Oh, that was there from way back. Okay. That was my bad then. I just totally missed that. You just flipped me off. I'm gonna shoot that dude in the face. Like, look, if you want to take the elevator without me, that's one thing. If you're gonna flip me off and call me a sucker, I'm gonna stick this barrel all the way down your throat. Pull the trigger until it goes click. That's a Big Lebowski reference that time. So I probably cannot jump down onto the elevator or else I will die. Because that's just how this game works sometimes. Situation. Armacham engineer Norton Mapes has again resisted rescue effort by Fear Point Man. Paxton Fattel's position has remained stationary. Mission. Every effort must be made to reach Fattel before he relocates. I've been trying. You guys are... Hey June, welcome back. I just got flipped off by a fat ginger. And that's where we are right now. I'm gonna introduce that guy to the business end of a grenade. Not because he's fat or a ginger, because some of my best friends are fat and or ginger. Pretty much just because he's an asshole. I made that joke earlier in the day. Well, yeah.
Oh, perfect. You again. See this button?
There he is.
I wonder what this does. Bye-bye now.
Why? What? So now there's just turrets. Oh, I broke it. Bye now. Bye now, save more. Buy now, pay less. Okay. Is there can I use the elevator? No, it's offline. Man, if I worked at a place with an elevator that sounded like that, I would quit. What'd you have for breakfast, Jonathan? Anything good? Standard fare?
Automatic defensive measures are active in this area. Unauthorized personnel will be shot on sight.
Nazi Lamak. Is it made of noses? Rice cooked with coconut milk. Well, that sounds nice. I'm not a fan of coconut in general, but that sounds like it could be good. Okay, that's just how you get around to shoot at the thing a little bit better. So does that mean like rice with milk? If you were to translate it?
Here's some more info about Fettel. He was developed as part of a project called Origin. It says the first prototype didn't work out. Fettel was the second, and there was never a third. They just pulled the plug a few years after he was born.
Isn't Project Origin the second game? Oh shit, does the second game take place before this? Like an origin story? Seems a bit on the nose though, right? Instead of using water to cook the rice, you use some coconut milk. Yeah, that makes sense. Why is there smoke over here? The thing was over there when I killed it. I like that when you step on the ramps, you just slide down them. Bye bye. Man, that ginger dude is gonna eat my dookie when I'm done here. Or is the game gonna make me do a "it's better to forgive than to"? My headset keeps making a noise like there's a low battery, even though I plugged it in. It's plugged in. Strike a pose and slide down like Michael Jackson. Yeah. Is the power? Yeah, the power's on. Like, I'm using them. There's a looky here. Oh, I don't know if it'll reach. Here's the thing that it's plugged into. I don't know if you can see it. There's a blue light. And this cable is running all the way up to my head, right here. It's all on. Oh, by the way, Suspicious Revenue gifted me this the other day, yesterday, actually. Which is a little, my maybe it's hard to see. It's getting washed out on my second screen. It's Skeletor from He-Man. A long time ago, my sister and I agreed that my nieces and nephews, nieces if I had them, would call me Uncle Skeletor. My nephew decided to get me that. Yeah, it's a Skeletor toy. Absolutely. Yeah, actually, it's very timely. There's supposed to be a He-Man reboot coming out, or something along those lines. I don't know much about it. I didn't really watch the He-Man cartoon when it was out, because I was not born yet. But yeah, so I chose to be called Uncle Skeletor, sort of as a joke, and it stuck with me. And so my nephew, with his own money, bought me this toy, and it's cool. And I'm gonna try to hang it up somewhere in the background here. I don't know how long it ran for. I know I saw episodes of it when I was young, but I thought it was reruns. But I was born in 1990, so I don't know if it came out that long ago. Hello? I got a call. I'm looking for someone named Hugh, last name Jass. Anybody named Hugh Jass here? I need a Hugh Jass. Oh, balls. Oh, is that open? Oh, it's not open. Hey, has anybody seen a Hugh Jass? This is why they gave me the rocket launcher. But fuck that noise. Dublin, Berlin, London, Paris. Look at his little legs wiggle. He's wiggling. I shouldn't laugh. That's probably how I would look. I wouldn't want someone to laugh at me. Oh, of course you're not gonna let me in there. Come on. Is it open now? No. I think I forgot to turn my headset off earlier when I was playing Sellouts, when I was doing the demo. So the battery's just been running for all that time. But I should point out, the manufacturer says that the battery should last like 17 hours on standby. Smooth criminal. Hee hee. Anyway. So I don't know why this doesn't want to charge it. Like the charging light isn't even coming on. Am I not pushing it in far enough? I have a different USB 3 cable over here. Maybe that'll work. Oh, that works. Although, it is tethered to the back of a monitor right now, so... Oh, it looks like my webcam froze. That's cool. Yes. That looks like it worked. Streaming is a very interesting thing because... yeah. Let me make that my, What? Let me make that my profile picture. It'll be available for the video on demand. The VOD.
First message from
Bill Moody. This is Bill Moody. Sorry I didn't get back to you sooner.
This is Bill Moody. What? I killed that one. Why is it still alive? Handheld rocket launcher. Perfect for indoor use. Did you ever get to use a rocket launcher? I'm guessing they probably don't train you on stuff like that. But I need to know. What? This one took 2 rockets and like an entire clip to kill. That one took 1 rocket and like 3 bullets. Oh, this game seems so inconsistent. You held a dummy one to get used to the way. Oh, okay. That's not as fun. I suppose it would probably be a really bad idea to give someone outside of a live situation access to that kind of destructive weaponry. It's probably a really bad idea. But I don't think I've ever met anybody, or at least nobody that's ever told me, am I out of medkits? I'm out of medkits? Singapore doesn't have the budget or land space to practice. That's too bad, really. I think it'd be interesting as hell to practice with high explosives. During your grenade training, one of the grenades didn't go off. Ooh, that's gotta be... one of the other guys in your company tossed a grenade wrong and it didn't go off. And then everybody had to, like, put off training for the rest of the day or something while they figured out if it was safe to approach it or something. It sounds like anxiety galore if you throw a grenade and it doesn't go off. Oh, that's not too bad. EOD? What's EOD? C4 on it. Wow. Ah, explosive ordnance disposal. I see. Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. I guess the best way to get rid of an explosive is to blow it up with other means. It's crazy though. I did feel a shockwave once. It was just from gasoline, though. I had some really old gasoline sitting around my house, and I went to use it to start a bonfire. And I think I used too much, but it was old, so I didn't expect it to be, like, good. And when I finally lit it up, it had a shockwave, which I was surprised to find out about. Nothing blew up, but I definitely felt it. That's how you gotta do it. They're not able to hit me from here, are they? Shoot at me! Shoot at me! He couldn't, because that glass is bulletproof, and I knew it. That's another rocket launcher. I feel like these guns go through ammo way too fast. Kidney, check. Liver, check. Lungs, check. Head, check. Yeah, I just want to be sure that no matter what happens, they're not going to be able to recover. Because they suck, you know? These guys are the worst. they might. You know, the miracles of modern science. It's what they can do with the lung is insane. So do you remember a long time ago, June, I mentioned to you, maybe not specifically to you, maybe I mentioned it to you, I was talking about how sometimes if you drink enough, or at least when I drink enough, my, like, it becomes a little bit harder to breathe, and, like, deep breaths feel really, really good. I've been having Southern Comfort all day, which is like a sweetened, flavored whiskey. And I feel like I'm to that point. It just feels good to breathe in deep. I don't know why it happens. Maybe I don't breathe enough. Breathing is important, right? I think it's important. Oh, I thought it was gonna be for the cargo elevator. What in the hell? Grenades, remote bombs, and proximity grenades. Yeah, alright. You know what I haven't done in a long time? I haven't gone to the movies. That's something I feel like I'd like to do. Let's do that. Put down a landmine. Granada. Shogun. Go grab this rocket launcher. Grab the health kit. Sliding tackle? I don't think I could do. I don't think I could slide. I think sliding in a video game usually means that there's a sprint option, and this game definitely does not have a sprint option. I was also under the impression when I started this that there was like a sliding, any kind of sliding, but it does not seem to be the case. There's just no sprint. Bulletstorm. Oh, I was actually, so I'm not gonna lie. Why would I lie? I don't need to preface that with that. When Bulletstorm was coming out, I was really excited for it. And I think it was only coming out on Nintendo, not Nintendo. I was gonna say Nintendo 360. Too much SoCo. What was it? Xbox 360. And the Xbox that I had, quote unquote had, I was sharing with a friend at the time. We're still technically sharing it, but I don't think either of us plays it anymore. So I never got to play Bulletstorm, and then eventually I got it for free through Humble Bundle or something. Maybe I didn't get it for free, maybe it was a Humble Bundle. And I still never played it. I also don't feel like I'd be good at games where, like, play this game with style is a thing. Because I played a half decent amount of the Devil May Cry games, and usually I find a combo that works for me and I just stick with that. Which is not good for style. Toxic substance. Whoa. Can't go in there. No style. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because I wanted to get in the DMC games too. The first one seems super long. I just remember thinking that the first game was taking forever. I'd had a much easier well, that's not entirely true. I had a turgid history with the Dark Souls series as well. Because my experience with the first Dark Souls was like, I bought it, and I played the first one for like an hour. I got up to, I think, the Taurus Demon, and then I quit because I was having a hard time with it. Like, it was too hard for me. And then I came back a year and a half later or something like that, and I finally played it again because I started watching videos of people that were like, they taught me how to run past enemies, which is not something that I could personally think of to do. Once I learned you can run past enemies, like, you don't have to kill everything, for some reason it just became that much easier. I mean, not for some reason, like, I had to fight a lot fewer enemies at that point. So that makes sense. But I ended up liking the Dark Souls series, or at least 1 and 3. I played 2 with Cheat Engine. It didn't have quite the same feel as 3 to me, so I wasn't able to get into it. Or the same feel as 1 and 3, so I wasn't able to get into it. I know a lot of people say 2 was bad. But even with cheats on, 2 is like a fucking long game. Like, it's weird how long playing that game with like God mode and all that was. There it is. Oh, this means the fat guy targeted me deliberately. You're close to completing 1. That's cool. What was the last boss you fought? Yeah, I'm just hoarding all the weapons because you want to read all the lore. I don't read the lore in game. I like the lore, but I do not have the attention span to read it in game, unfortunately. So I end up watching Vati's videos. And I think he breaks it down really well. So I don't have to pay attention to the lore. I can get bits and pieces, and then Vati can explain it to me later. Did you see the trailer for Elden Ring? The new game? It's a good trailer. Wait, I feel like I was down here before. I saw a lot of people say that Elden Ring just ended up looking a lot like bits and pieces from Dark Souls, which I think is fine. More Dark Souls, I think, is what, what a lot of people wanted anyway, so, you know, whatever. Some people get too uptight about stuff like that. Dark Souls 2. Yeah, who cares? Buy the game or don't buy the game. I think you stopped at the part just before the final boss. Nice. Sort of the ashy area. I'm trying to think. I think when you go for the final boss, don't you go from Firelink? Framped. Talk to Framped and he like puts you in or not, maybe not Framped, maybe the kennel, what the hell is it called? Black Chihuahua. The Cauldron? Is that it? When you use the cauldron at the bonfire, it lets you teleport. Status is dead. What in the hell is this gun? Oh, before Artorias. Thanks to Vati, the Artorias fight makes me a little sad now. Oh, maybe. I think it's a fun game. It's one of the only games that, like, I'll watch fairly consistently from, like, Twitch streamers and them. A few specific streamers in general, but, I don't know, Dark Souls is fun to watch, to me. Oh yeah, absolutely, everybody had it. Everything was depressing in Dark Souls. No one is happy. Notorious and Sif, Onion Bro, and Onion Daughter, Depressed Firelink Shrine Guy. Stop it. Artorias and Sif are the ones that really stick out to me because it really like humanizes the wolf, which I think is very bizarre. Oh yeah. But with Sif, it's like, he doesn't want to fight you because he just doesn't, because he wants to prevent the spread of the deep. But he's willing to fight you because he doesn't want anybody else to fall victim to the, he is the goodest boy. They say if you show up wearing Artorias' armor, the cutscene is slightly different. Oh, is it really? It sounds like something they'd put in, but I didn't know about that. He's like, I don't want to fight you, but if I know that you need to do this, but I can't just sit back and let somebody else go through what Artorias went through, and that's why I'm hanging out at his grave. It's like, aw, Sif. And I never would have gotten that on my own. Oh, that's really sad too. It's like the dog scene from Futurama. Tugging at my heartstrings. I have a real fondness for dogs if you haven't noticed. Situation. Paxton Fattel's signal has vanished again. Armacham, technical advisor, suggests the problem may be the result of damage the transmitter sustained during combat. It is now believed that Armacham engineer Norton Mapes is actively sabotaging the Fear mission. Primary mission is to locate Fattel. Secondary objective is to take Norman Mapes into custody for questioning. I'm not taking prisoners. Norman Mapes has gone down. Yeah, bitch. How do I pick that up? I want to shoot it. Night Solaire. Oh, yeah. Solaire's kind of on the same... His story kind of has the same beats as, like, The Onion Knight, right? Or no? He goes insane because he's trying to help you? According to Vati, the Onion Knight's whole thing that was keeping him sane was like he went there to be the hero, and you keep beating him to being a hero, so he's just losing his sense of purpose.
You have one new message. First message.
What was Solaire's? He was...
Aristide. Ian, can you send me copies of any materials your task force has put together on the origin anomalies? Harlan is supposed to be updating me daily, but apparently he's got his hands full with the grudge he insists on carrying. I hope he's not dribbling too much poison in people's ears. I take full responsibility for what happened to the team, but wishing won't bring them back. In any case, now's not the time for assigning blame. We have to work together as a team to get through this crisis. Thanks so much. End of messages.
Okay. I do remember the bug. Specifically because the bug lets you... Is that Fattel? It is. What's up, bud? You're lucky you're behind bulletproof glass. It's just standing there waiting for me to talk to him. I remember the bug. I don't remember why I needed... Oh, I used the bug in Tomb of the Giants. Sorry, there's like something in my eyes.
You again. They tried to bury their sins, but instead planted the seeds of their doom.
See in my head?
War is coming. I've seen it in my dreams. Fire sweeping over the earth, bodies in the streets, cities turned to dust. Retaliation.
It seems like it's ending. There we go. Reflexes boosted. I sort of liked the theory that Solaire was the war god, the son of What was his name? The king. Gwen, yeah. That's the one. Oh, Fizzy Cola. Diet Squish? Squish is one of the nicknames I have for my dog. Dead, stay dead. Yeah, you're right, it's Gwen. The shadows! Anyway.
Any sign of Hives?
No. Looks like we missed the party.
He's here! You okay? Shit! Help! Help!
But yeah. So I liked the theory that Solaire is the son of Gwyn, and he was banished, and so he's on a mission to look for the sun, but it's just not working out for him. And then Dark Souls 3 had to happen and make the unnamed king be
He's over here!
probably the god of war.
Everybody!
Just steal that away from Solaire.
Help me!
Son, bro.
Plug on Origin. Apparently they just locked the doors and threw away the key. They don't go into a lot of detail, but I guess the place is really dangerous to be in. What if there's some kind of chemical leak or something?
Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, can't shoot through it.
He's here! It's a grenade!
Wow, that hurt me. Oh shit, is that what that gun does to people? I skeletonize them? Is that a word, skeletonize? Dark Souls was good. I only ever played it once. Because I'm not good enough at it to have like handled a second playthrough. Even though I started several playthroughs. Ow. But with Dark Souls as well, I don't have it in me to have the patience to like learn most of the enemy attacks. Or maybe it's not a patience thing so much as an ADHD thing. You didn't cite me. I just feel like I don't have the capacity to... Hello. I didn't even realize I was walking into a room here. I've tried so much to be able to recognize the attacks.
You have one new message.
Like how long they take and all that. And it just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. And the game would be so much easier if I could recognize those patterns for attacks. I just don't. But I also think it's I think it might also explain why I'm not good at picking up things like anything that has to do with physical body movement. Because, like, I can understand how to do a dance, for example. But, like, if I try to translate the movements into my own body, it just will not make sense. I don't know if what I said made sense. Like, different movements in dancing just don't make sense to me because I feel like I can watch them all I want, but I just cannot translate them into my own body. sorry, buddy. It didn't seem like you got reinforcements. Oof. Did I ever use K nearest neighbor? That does not sound like something I've used. What is that? A machine learning tool to create data cluster from unordered data. No, I've never heard of it, actually. It sounds useful for data manipulation and such. It sounds interesting. I'll have to look into that. It's been a while since I've looked into anything like machine learning. Oh shit. That with no background or any work experience, it's hard to practice. Yeah. I find that if I have an easier time remembering information like that if I have something to apply it to in my life. So like if I have a specific place to use it in work, I'll pick it up a lot easier. Yeah. And that's just it, like, it'll make... Like, when I was trying to pick up some of the other languages that I learned, I was able to learn them really quickly because I was able to apply what I learned directly to my work. Oh shit. And I think I feel like it's important that the applications you try to use it for are pertinent to you, maybe not just your work. Yeah, like the budget tracking. Because like if I try to make up an idea for something that I just have no real use for, that's not going to help either. That's just going to feel like homework, and I'm going to neglect it. So it's got to... Those kinds of things, they got to feel like, for me, they have to feel like they offer some tangible benefit to me. To work with, so you don't really know how to practice with SQL. You have Excel files here and there, so you just use pandas. Well, there you go. I mean, that works. I thought with what was it called? MySQL. Or no, you were using NoSQL, right? With MongoDB? I don't remember how that one works.
God damn it, I lost that signal again. This transmitter's a piece of shit.
What was the point I was gonna make about that? Aren't those like you can create them on the fly? So you don't need to have like a database set up. You can create it as you need it. Or am I wrong about that? You don't think of what to put in the database. Yeah. I mean, sort of the beauty of a database is you just sort of dump everything in there. All you really need to know is how to structure it. You dump everything in there and then you learn how to work with it later. Just combine like sounding data. I don't know how to say that. Data that looks like it goes together. My eyes are really fucked up tonight. It's like using Power Query with Excel. I think so. I don't think I ever used Power Query. I know I looked it up at one point because I was trying to learn how to do something, but I never used it because it involved downloading stuff that I wasn't allowed to download. Yeah. I like SQL is most of what I do at this point. And most of the time what it comes down to is select the information you want. Select the information you want from the tables you need where your criteria matches. And that's like 99% of SQL. least that's been my experience. Writing queries is most of what I do at this point. You're told the real work on working with data is not writing code to make it work, it's writing code to clean the data prior to storing it in the database. Well, yeah, I can see that too. It depends on the data you're working with too. Most of the data that I work with on a regular basis is already mostly cleaned. Depending on what I end up having to do, a lot of times I'll have to clean it after I start to pull it. Because we'll have different things stored in different ways. So sometimes dates are stored as text fields or as a portion of a text field, and the business customer will want that date that's stored in a text field, and I'll have to find a way to filter out everything that doesn't have a date in that field, as well as format the things that do have a date in that field so that it looks like a date and can be used as a date. And then also there's some numbers that get stored as dates, which is sort of fucky to play around with. So, as someone that writes queries pretty much for a living, that's most of what I do, I can tell you not all data is stored properly, and it's not part of my job to know how to store data. So knowing how to write a good query is, I think, just as important as knowing how to store data correctly. Because I could bitch all day about how they're not storing data correctly on my company's network, but it's not going to mean shit because they're not going to do anything about it.
Associated with Origin since the beginning. He's the one that put it together.
I think what he meant was similar. Take data from someone else and it's usually shit. Yeah. Like, I can't speak for most companies. I've worked with 2 tech companies since I started in the professional world, and so like I don't have a ton of experience on who's doing good and who's doing bad. I understand how this company operates, but I do end up with odd assignments. Like the one time we found out that there was sensitive information being stored in a text field, and I needed to find a way to get that. So it fell to me to write the query that fixed that before we were in violation of such and such. Probably shouldn't give out that much information.
I'm going to see if I can track down some other people that lived or worked in the area during that time. Even a couple of interviews would help. I'll keep you posted.
End of messages.
Hello? Did one where an Excel file. You had an Excel file of customer info in one column of city. Someone wrote New York. Yeah. Yeah, that can be tough. I think at that point, though, you have to consider you have to redesign how you collect that information, because accounting for all the variations is just going to be too much. Too much. Where's the cell phone? Really? Is that just a secret? To give me a pistol? Yeah, and there is to some extent at my workplace. Like one of the... It's not always, though, because when you depend on other departments to collect that data, sometimes they'll just design, like, Word documents with checkboxes to collect information that you need. And those things end up being pretty difficult to look at, but there are ways of doing it. And I spent like a full 8-hour day writing code to parse through a sheet that that a customer had filled out, and all it did was it pulled out the fields that were there, and then it pulled up when you look at an Excel sheet, if you have checkboxes in an Excel sheet, it's kind of difficult to work with that data. However, or when you have, sorry, I'm losing track of what I'm saying. If you have an Excel sheet that has checkboxes in it, it's kind of difficult to figure out what you have. But what I did instead of having like a discrete field for different checkboxes, I set it up so that I pulled basically a yes or no, whether the box was checked or not, and what the box was named, because you can find a checkbox based on where it is on the sheet. And I stored that in a table along with a key so I could look it up later. And it actually ended up working really well. And I kind of wish they had gone with that code, because from what I was told by one of my coworkers, it would have saved the company a lot of money. Like a lot of money. And they probably would have given me a little bit of the amount that was saved, because that's how sometimes it works with bigger companies. We're talking about like millions of dollars, according to the guy that I was talking to. I don't know where he got that estimate. But even if they gave me like 0.5% of that, what would that be, like $2,000? $20,000? And the code took me like 8 hours to write. So if you get creative with it, like all that data lookup and everything can be incredibly useful and incredibly lucrative if you know how to do it, or how to use it.
Yeah, I hope this chick's alive. Nobody's been snacking on her.
I was actually really proud of that project. I'm sad that I had to can it. had to can it because the team that would have used it would have been like, they got axed.
You have one new message. First message from an outside number. Hi, Sue. It's about 2:30. Guess you're in a meeting as usual. Anyway, just wanted to make sure you got my email about tomorrow night. Sorry for the short notice, but we won't have to stay late. Call me back when you get in. Bye. End of messages.
I was really hoping someone would be impressed by that code after I wrote it, but never got to see the light of day. Kind of the funny thing about code for me, like when I write a really good piece of code, I'm always eager for someone to notice it, or if I have a really good idea about something, I'm eager for someone to notice it. But it's never the good code that I write that gets any notice. It's always like the simple shit that I write that's like half-baked and experimental. The painter. When you just want someone to notice the good work that you're doing, but nobody does. And it's funny too, because like, if you ever get free time, and you have like a job that involves data or anything that can be made a little bit better by coding. I don't want to speak in generalizations. Because I have a job that I can make better through coding, I will sometimes get experimental. I'll spend a little bit of extra time writing code that I don't necessarily think that it's going to go anywhere, but I think it'll be interesting, and if it does work, it'll be that much better. And you know, I might spend an extra day on writing code like this. Oh shit. That's what I said. I didn't expect that guy there. And it always ends up being very interesting to me to work on these things, because it's like nobody else is going to appreciate the extra effort or the extra shit that this does. And like, I could take it to my boss or whatever and say like, hey look, here's this thing that you didn't know was a problem that is going to be fixed by this, because this thing is going to run in half the time that it used to because of the work that I did. At which point they're going to say like, what? The boss is going to say like, well, did we need to fix this? Was this a deliverable or something? And then I have to say, no, I worked on it on my own time. And then nothing happens with it. It'd be like, no, I agree with you, it's a great idea, but we didn't need to do this, so we're not going to do it. So just deal with it. But look, it's better. Yeah, don't let me get away. Oh shit. So, I don't know, working in tech is funny to me. Now that I'm thinking about it, it sort of boils down to, like, the reason why, I think the bigger reason behind it ends up being because me and the business have slightly separate goals. And what I mean by that is, my goal is to write good code that is very functional. Yeah, that's it exactly. They only think of my work in terms of the money it brings, and whether or not me spending my time working on those extra things is a useful use of my time. At least in terms of building profits. If my work is not profit generating, then there's no real need for me to improve on anything that's already been agreed to at all. My goal is like, hey, I think we can bring this down from 2 minutes to 1 minute if we just do this simple fix, and then we won't have to fix this problem later on in life. And it will be a big problem later on. And then it's like, well, yeah, you're right, it probably will be a big problem later on, but that doesn't make us any money right now. So don't do it. It's like, I just wanna... Let me be me. I mean, it sounds like every boss. It's... I don't want to pretend like I don't understand it, because I completely understand. The entire point, the entire reason that we're all in a job is to make money and drive the profits up and drive the economy onward and all that. But it's like, if I wanted a job that was just like making things better, right. If it's a problem, but the customer hasn't found it, then it's not a problem. But even when I worked at the startup I was at, there's a web development startup. The point, basically the point of the company was not to make good functional websites. The point of the company was to drive sales of the websites. And if we were not developing new features fast enough, then we were not keeping up with the rest of the market. So it's like I recently handed out this platitude. It's just a saying that I've heard from engineering communities. It's basically, don't let perfect get in the way of good enough. And I like the saying, but it also kind of robs you of the satisfaction of creating something that's perfect. Something that you know you could make perfect. And the idea is you gotta give up perfection in order to create good enough. But with all that being said, like in my current work, I very often find times when like I might be able to improve the runtime of a report, because I work in reporting, by like a half an hour in some cases, and I've done that. A report that runs daily, I can improve by half an hour runtime, and like a half an hour really adds up fast when you're doing it every day, and stuff needs to be able to run before and after it without conflict. And the original will run, and it'll create problems like all day, every day. And I'll say, and I'll bring this up to the higher ups, and I'll say like, hey, this is causing an issue. We should look into this. And here's a fix. And they'll say, no, it's not part of our scope right now. We have other things we need to work on. It's like, but it's gonna cause a problem. It's causing problems right now. Should we not just fix it? Nah, let's just go with it the way it is for now. And I don't think it's why I'm a good businessman. Sorry, let me rephrase that to be more accurate. I think it's why I'm not a good businessman. Because, like, I would focus on the quality. I would focus on getting things right, getting things working well. And I don't feel like that's a focus in any business I've ever worked for. Oh shit. I don't like the smoke. I get that the smoke adds to the realism. Like, in an actual firefight, there would be a lot of debris and smoke. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure the video game people, the NPCs, are not constrained by the smoke. It's balancing quality deadlines, yeah. No, and that's just it. Like, I completely understand it, I just don't like it. Which basically sums up most of my feelings about a lot of things in a capitalist system. Or at the very least, the capitalist systems we have set up now. What? Oh. Did he just rotate that table? To create cover? Often at your old job you want to do something that's good, do it properly, but it will take slightly longer to do or require more in-depth planning and organization. Yeah. So your lead in management tells you, no, just do it up to this bit and that's good enough. We can deal with the rest when it's made known to the client. Yeah, and that's unfortunate, because you have the... Because it's like, it takes a worker's drive and ambition to do good work, like superior work, that could even potentially like drive up the reputation of the business and all that, and it just sort of puts them in a box where it's like, well, this is all you're expected to do, so this is all you're gonna do. Let's not go above and beyond, and let's kill any ambition you thought you had. The assault rifle. Yeah, I'm totally on the same page about that.
You're not one of them. I'd pretty much given up on being rescued.
Thank God she's okay. Give her a comlink.
You have 2 new messages. First message from...
Hello?
Miss Wade, we're gonna get you out of there, but you're gonna have to move quick.
I need to get to my dad.
Where is he?
Some kind of classified facility. I've never heard of it. There isn't even a street address, just UTM coordinates. The entrances are all hidden, but I have passcodes.
Message from...
Looks like I've already got the
And it's funny too, because when you think about it,
You mean a helicopter?
it makes a lot of sense. Like if you overperform this time,
Kind of.
then the client is always going to expect that overperformance, even though they don't realize that it's overperformance, because everything after the fact is going to seem worse by comparison. So it almost makes sense that you don't give them your best now, but it also sucks because you're almost discouraged from doing your best work. Not almost, you are discouraged from doing your best work. Unless you're a shitty worker, then you're just expected to do whatever.
Hurry! Let's go get my dad.
You're not going anywhere but the safe house till this is over.
What?
Don't worry, your father will be joining you as soon as we pick him up.
No way! I'm not going anywhere until I know he's okay.
Forget it, I'm not taking any more chances.
And since you mention it, one of the mottos I've adopted since working at my position is
What a mess.
don't give them what they want, give them what they ask for. So a lot of my work ends up being request-based. So people at my job need to request work from us, and the unfortunate side of that is they don't always know what they're looking for, or they just don't care to write it out properly. So if you are a diligent, and let's use the phrase good worker to talk about someone who goes above and beyond. If you're one of those workers, you might realize what the requester needs and try to give them what you think they
You don't mess
want
around, do you?
rather than what they asked for. And then one of a few things is going to happen. Either they're going to write back to you and say, this is not what I asked for.
Why are all the floors lighting up? Uh-oh.
Or 2, they are going to learn that they don't have to put in proper requests. Or 3, if anything is wrong on what you provided, then it is your fault because you didn't give them exactly what they asked for. So it's like, it's almost a worse idea to deviate from what you were asked for. And then I've just learned to not ask people about what they want because
Somebody's
different
pressing the call buttons. Get ready!
different departments just have different vocabulary. Did I just shoot that guy in half? So yeah, we developed the phrase, don't give them what they want, give them what they ask for. Specifically because of that. They won't ask properly for things, and if you deviate from what they ask for, then any errors are completely your fault, and nobody's gonna have an issue throwing you under the bus. I should have got out of the elevator after that.
This sucks.
I was actually reading a post, a thread on Reddit earlier today.
What's going on? What happened to the power?
Where someone was saying, never give 100%.
Right here.
Always give 50%, and if you need more, give 75%, but you never give 100%. Because once you start giving 100%, then everything seems expected, but if you give 50% and then up it to 75, well then you're giving 150% of your original, which is more than anybody can theoretically ask you for. But it also really sucks that that's, like, what it comes down to. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I had a boss. So my team ended up getting pretty good at what we were doing, to the point where we would get a request and we would turn the request around like within the same day, within the same hour in some cases, because we got a lot of the same requests and we just knew what we were doing with them. And it ended up getting expected to the point where outside resources from outside our team would be asking us, like, yeah, within the day, where's this thing that we requested? And it's like, well, you just submitted it. We need time to get these things out, and then they can point at other things that we've delivered and say, well, you delivered this within the hours, so why can't you do this one? So one of my last bosses this was actually a while ago. He set up a minimum turnaround time where you were not allowed to turn around a request if it was less than a day, just so we could set up the precedent that requests will a lot of times take more than 1 day to do, because people just ended up expecting it like right away, not realizing that we have other stuff that needs to be done, and also maybe this request is not as easy as the other ones. So it was an interesting situation, but you kind of have to manage your manage expectations with customers, internal or external. Situation: Fear operative was separated from Alice Wade. Her present whereabouts are unknown, and she isn't responding to comlink transmissions. Interference is preventing Hannibal 3 satellite reconnaissance. Mission: primary objective is to locate Allison Wade and secure HLZ for evac helicopter. How long is this game? Cheat codes? Gimme gun. Oh, I shouldn't do any of this. This is a slippery slope right here. Walkthroughs. Okay, so there's 10. So I think I'm going to stop here, and next time I hop on I should be able to do interval 7, 8, 9, and 10 and knock out Fear. Finally beat a game that I've been working on for 15 years? Not working on. I bought it probably that long ago. How long ago did this game come out, actually? Is Fear a good game? What game engine does Fear use? Is Fear scary? Release date was 2005. So yeah, 16 years ago. And I would have bought in this game maybe 15 years ago. And I didn't play through all that much of it. So next time, here's Johnny.
There you are. How did we get separated? I remember the power going out in the elevator. Then the next thing I knew, I was arriving on the top floor and you were gone.
You should have a visual of the
Yeah, it was my fault.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
This is crazy. I am not waiting here. My dad's in danger.
Your dad will be fine. You're the one I'm worried about.
My dad's in danger.
Sorry.
This way. Here, what the hell is she thinking? She's headed for the garage. You gotta cut her off before she gets herself killed.
Yeah. It's gonna be big firefights. I'm tired now. So anyway, everybody have a lovely evening. Thanks for stopping by, checking out the stream, watching me try to kill things in Fear and complain about the world. Hope you enjoyed. And probably stream next on Monday or Tuesday around 7:30. 7:30 is probably right around when I would be getting on. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Just like the old days. Yeah, that's right. I want to try to stream more, but sometimes it's just tough to motivate myself to do it. Only give 50%, remember. Just with less drinking? No, well, less drinking, but still drinking. 'Cause yes, I did. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about if I would be able to sleep. 'Cause I had coffee at like 9. That was a silly move. Why did I do that? Alright, well anyway. Until next time when I complain about capitalism and the weird quirks of capitalism. Good night.